Hi everybody, welcome to today's current affair discussion and first headlines of today's discussion. Let's say the first one here. World Bank Board elects US nominee Ajay Banga as its president. Right. So World Bank new president is actually Indian origin personality Ajay Banga, and regarding that we are going to discuss a few things. Next, 21st edition of the World Press Freedom Index compiled annually by Reporters Without Borders. So the edition number of World Press Freedom Index is 21st, and every year this World Press Freedom Index is prepared by this particular non-governmental organization, that is RSF, stands Reporters Without Borders. Regarding that index also we are going to discuss a few important points. Next, three Iranian journalists won the United Nations Press Freedom Prizes. Okay, so every year on the same day called World Press Freedom Day, actually it is 3rd of May. So UNESCO will announce as UNESCO, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization. They announce World Press Freedom Prizes also. So this year that award was given to the three Iranian journalists, the two women journalists. We are going to discuss about that thing also. And next thing, so WTO should look at the issue of farm subsidies with an open mind as it impacts the food security needs of emerging economies in the backdrop of COVID-19 as well as Russia-Ukraine war, said by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Right. So World Trade Organization is the one which promotes trade throughout worldwide, especially for a agriculture sector point of view, exports and imports point of view. So our Indian Finance Minister requested WTO with respect to providing better subsidies for the exports and imports of agriculture products, that is exports and imports of agriculture products point of view. So our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman requested WTO to liberal the norms of worldwide trade rules and regulations. So we'll discuss about that thing also. Next, Standard & Poor Global India Services PMI Business Activity Index, regarding that also one important point. And Currency and Finance 2023 report, it was released by RBI. So the report title as Currency and Finance 2023 released by RBI, and that's all about today's discussion. And obviously the last one is national parks point of view. So let's go with our discussion one by one. The first question here is a guy, you can look at there, is a guy Ajay Banga, an Indian origin personality. And now coming to our question, World Bank Board elects US nominee Ajay Banga. Remember the personality name. New president of World Bank. Soon he will be appointed as World Bank president. The name is Ajay Banga as president. Right. World Bank Board elects US nominee. It means American government nominated personality, this guy Ajay Banga, as new president. Now there is a tradition in World Bank. The World Bank has been led by an American since its founding. So 1944 lo established in the World Bank. Apart nunchi till 2023, till today, all the presidents of World Bank are from America only. And this guy also present, this Ajay Banga, an American citizen, but actually born in India. So Indian origin personality, we can say Indian American personality, right? While the IMF, International Monetary Fund, has been led by European. Okay, just a traditional kind of info that I given there. Now a few more points here. Ajay Banga, who was born in India, has been a US citizen since 2007. He even worked previously in this particular company CEO, MasterCard CEO, former MasterCard CEO. He will take over the role from David Malpass on this year, June 2nd, 2023. Now my question, Ajay Banga was born in which Indian state? That's what my question. So before going to answer what we discussed here, Indian origin personality, and presently is actually citizen of America. Since this year he got that particular citizenship 2007 onwards. So Ajay Banga elected as the new president of World Bank, and he is going to take that position from this date onwards, June 2nd, 2023, because this present existing World Bank president called David Malpass, this person tenure is going to be completed by June 1st, 2023. From June 2nd onwards, this guy is going to become new president of World Bank, and he is actually worked as the CEO of Mastercard previously. And the tradition in World Bank point of view, since its formation 1944 to till today, World Bank president is like an American personality only, whereas IMF president is like a European personality, right? So now my question, Ajay Banga was born in which Indian state? Actually, he is from Maharashtra in a city called Pune. Okay, so option B is the correct answer for this question, right? So simply a little bit important, this particular person appointment. An Indian origin personality, presently American citizenship holder, Ajay Banga, former CEO of Mastercard, and June 2nd, 2023 onwards, going to become new president of World Bank by replacing David Malpass, is the present president of World Bank. And the World Bank headquarters is at Washington, D.C. That's also one more point you should remember. The headquarters of World Bank is in a location called Washington, D.C. Okay. So he is from which Indian state and which city, if you want to know? He is from Pune, Pune born personality. It is in a state called Maharashtra. So that's all about this first question. Move to the next one. Question number 2. Right. This question is all about, just observe the image there. The state of world press freedom. What actually this index indicates? The freedom for the freedom of journalists throughout worldwide in a country manner. I mean, in different countries, how the journalists are enjoying their freedom. So based upon the rules and regulations of the respective government, the rules in India, the rules in Pakistan, the rules and regulations in America, like that, each and every country have their own norms and rules and regulations. Based upon that particular scenario, the freedom of press, the freedom of journalists, based upon that data, every year this will be prepared. This particular index is prepared. The state of world press freedom. And if you look at the image, you will learn many points here. Here the color codes also given. It's a world map, different continents or country locations. This one. So in this particular image, the color which is in a green, this one, these nations, journalists are enjoying better freedom among all the countries in the world. These country journalists are enjoying better freedom. So that countries are European countries. So if this is the world map, and this world map, this location is Europe. It means among all the nations, which nations journalists are enjoying better freedom with respect to World Press Freedom Index means from Europe. Okay, next thing, satisfactory situation. No complaints, but satisfactory situation from the journalist point of view. This area, this one, you can see this particular area, and this as well as this location, and here a few parts here. So majority of Australia, complete Australia, and this is South America, few nations, and North America, Canada, USA, these countries are journalists are enjoying satisfactory situation. Okay, right. Next, and if you look at the color codes here, simply again orange color, that is this area and this location and these locations, like few nations in Southern America, and this is Mongolia. So these nations journalists are enjoying. There are some noticeable problems. Okay, next, very difficult situation journalist. In ఏ కంట్రీస్ లో ఉన్న జర్నలిస్టులు వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఫేస్ చేస్తున్నారంటే, యూ కెన్ సీ రెడ్ కలర్, which ever the nations having color code of red indicates that country journalists are in a difficult situation. So some of the part in Northern America, South America, majority portion of South Africa, and here you can see this particular country called China. Okay, so these, not even China, like this area is like a Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, such a kind of countries. But China is very serious situation. So these countries. Now the last color indication, if you look at here, maroon color, it's a dark maroon color. This area, complete Russia, including India also, our nation also. Okay, Pakistan, all these countries, China, all these countries, journalists are in a very serious situation. So simply this image itself shows to you people which country journalists are enjoying better freedom while presenting, while reporting news worldwide. European nations journalists are enjoying better freedom compared to our Asian nations point of view. Now let's we go with the one by one, and before going to that, here I provided top 3 countries journalists with a better freedom. top place Norway, second place Ireland, third place Denmark. All are European countries only. And bottom ranked nations in terms of world press freedom, bottom position North Korea, after that China. It means China second worst nation in terms of press freedom, worst nation North Korea, whereas second worst China, third worst Vietnam. Their respective ranks also you can observe there, 178, 179, 180. So 2023 world press freedom index, how many countries combination? 180. Top 3 Norway, Ireland, Denmark. NID Norway, Ireland, Denmark. Bottom 3 Vietnam, China, North Korea. Okay, these are the bottom 3 and top 3 countries. Now let's look at the point by point. The 21st edition of the World Press Freedom Index, compiled annually by Reporters Without Borders. So as I already said, it is a non-governmental organization. It's NGO, non-governmental organization. They are the ones preparing this World Press Freedom Index every year. And this year edition is 21st one, right? Remember the edition count also. World Press Freedom Index count is 21st one. And who prepared this particular index? Who is preparing this particular index every year? Reporters Without Borders. And actually this NGO located in Paris, France. The headquarters of Reporters Without Borders is located in Paris, France. That's also you can remember one point. Next thing, World Press Freedom Index is to compare, this is the point, what this index represents. World Press Freedom Index is to compare the level of press freedom enjoyed by media. As we already said, European nation journalists are enjoying better freedom compared to any other countries in the world. Very serious situation. India included in that category. China, Russia, Pakistan, Afghanistan, like these kind of countries are in a very serious situation, right? Now we need to identify the correct statements about World Press Freedom Index 2023. How many edition? 21st edition. Who is preparing every year this particular World Press Freedom Index? This one, Reporters Without Borders. Okay, Reporters Without Borders. And top 3 countries, Norway, Ireland, Denmark. Norway, Ireland, Denmark. Bottom 3 Vietnam, China, North Korea. It means in a bottom spot North Korea, second worst to China, first to Norway, next to Ireland, next to Denmark. Top 3, right? Moving to first option A. India is ranking in the 2023 World Press Freedom Index has slipped to 161 out of 180 countries. Fine. Previous year in 2022, India rank is 150. In 2023 announced index, in this index India ranked at 161. It means 11 places manam padipoyam. So our rank is very important. What is the rank of India in the World Press Freedom Index? 161 out of how many? 180 countries. Compared to India, our neighbor nations, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, journalists are enjoying much better freedom. See, Pakistan has fared better when it comes to media freedom, as it was placed at 150th spot. Last year they are at 157. Last year we are at 150. India last year 150, 2022. Present 2023, India ranked at 161. 11 places we fall at 11 places, and our present rank is 161. Whereas Pakistan last year rank is 157 and this year rank is 150. It means mana previous rank 150 and now that rank goes to Pakistan, right? So, and next point, Sri Lanka also made a significant, you can see, improvement. Sri Lanka also made a significant improvement on the index, ranking 135th this year as against 146 last year. Okay, so simply in first option A, the points that we have to remember here: rank of India 2023 161, our neighbor nations like Pak 150 now, and Sri Lanka, you can see the rank of Sri Lanka here itself, it's 135. The rank of Sri Lanka 135. These are the neighbor nations to India. India present rank 2023 rank of India 161, Pakistan 150, Sri Lanka 135, right? And how many edition of this? Reporters Without Borders 21st edition. Okay, right? World Press Freedom Index prepared by Reporters Without Borders. Where is the headquarters of Reporters Without Borders organization. It is in Paris, France. Now, moving to next thing. Option B. The situation is very serious in how many countries? 31 countries. Difficult in 42 countries. Problematic in 55 countries. And good or satisfactory in 52 countries. In other words, the environment for journalism is bad in 7 out of 10 countries. Out of total 180 countries, in every 10 countries, 7 countries journalists are in a bad situation in terms of their freedom. Whereas only 3 country journalists out of 10, if you consider, out of 180, in every 10 countries, 7 country journalists are in a bad kind of freedom, whereas only 3 country journalists are enjoying a better freedom. In this particular option B, we need to remember this particular point. Very serious in how many countries? 31 countries. Difficult in 42 countries. And problematic in 55 countries, whereas good or satisfactory in 52 countries. If you sum all these particular numbers, we'll get a 180 as it is. It is 42 plus 31, 73, 78, 138, 140, and plus 31 plus 42, 73, 78, 128, 130, 180. Overall, 180 countries out of 180 countries. Very serious in how many countries? The journalists are facing very serious kind of situations. 31 countries. Difficult, 42 countries. Problematic in 55 countries. Whereas good or satisfactory in 52 countries. It means problematic is the highest number of countries point of view. Okay, right. Next thing, option C, as we discussed already, Norway, Ireland, Denmark, top 3 nations with a better press freedom. Whereas last 3 places occupied from Asian countries only, all these countries from Asia, our continent only. Vietnam 178, China 179, North Korea 180 constituted the bottom 3. And now we all know Russia and Ukraine facing severe war since 2022 February, and the respective country rankings also, if you see here, Russia 164, whereas Ukraine 79th rank also. So should remember all these points as we discussed here. So the index is, let me give a revision once again. World Press Freedom Index, prepared by Reporters Without Borders, okay, RSF. Simply, its acronym is RSF, Reporters Without Border. Its headquarters is at Paris, France. How many edition? 21st edition. Okay, right. Next thing. What's the rank of India? We are in 161st. Last our rank is 150. 11 places padipoyam. Next, what's the rank of Pakistan? 150. What's the rank of Sri Lanka, our neighbor country? 135. Okay, next. Top 3 countries. Top 3. Netherlands or Norway. If you look at here, Norway, sorry. Fine, you can see here. Top 3 countries: Norway, Ireland, and Denmark. These are the top 3 countries in terms of world press freedom. First, second, third. Bottom 3, simply North Korea 180th rank, China 179th rank, Vietnam 178th rank, and unfortunately all these countries from Asia, our continent only. Okay, and one more thing, in every 10 countries, 7 country journalists are facing bad environment, whereas only 3 country journalists are in a good kind of environment in terms of rules and regulations point of view, right? So, and is there anything that we need to remember? Yes, the rank of Russia 164 and the rank of Ukraine 79. So that's all about this question, right? On to the next question, but let me give a review once again. 21st edition of World Press Freedom Index released by the Reporters Without Borders, NGO, non-governmental organization. It is in Paris, France. Top 3: Norway, Ireland, Denmark. Bottom 3. In fact, bottom North Korea, then China, then Vietnam. Our rank, India rank 161, Pakistan 150, Sri Lanka 135. Next, Russia rank 164, Ukraine rank 79. So this all about this World Press Freedom Index 2023. And when we celebrate World Press Freedom Day, it's on May 3rd. Regarding every year, on that particular day only, this index is released by RSF, stands for Reporters Without Borders. Moving to next question. Question number 3. Yeah. This question is again with respect to that World Press Freedom Day related only. But here, previously, second question we discussed about World Press Freedom Index. Now, World Press Freedom Prize. The guts and bravery is shown by the journalists throughout worldwide, and the ones who sacrificed their lives, or else the ones who are providing their best for the journalism. Every year, such a kind of journalist will be awarded with World Press Freedom Prize. This prize will be this prize is given in the memory, in the honor of this personality. Is a guy. So this personality is, this guy name is Guillermo Cano. Actually is a Colombian journalist. He was assassinated in 1986 in front of his office. In the memory of this personality, every year on World Press Freedom Day, UNESCO is presenting World Press Freedom Prize for the people who are done exceptional, outstanding contributions for the development of journalism in worldwide. Now let's go with the point by point. So third question is simply 2023 World Press Freedom Prize winners, and in the memory of who we are, they are announcing this World Press Freedom Prizes. All those things we are going to get a clarity, right? So remember, World Press Freedom Prize in the memory of this guy. And who is that guy? Guillermo Cano. Coming to our question, 3 jailed Iranian women journalists win United Nations, in fact UNESCO's, UNESCO is a part of United Nations, UNESCO's Press Freedom Prize. Now we should identify the correct statements. First one, the winners are, in option A, those 3 winners names I given, all those 3 winners from Iran only, journalists only, and for the cause, for the reasons, all the thing I given here, you can see the winners are, is the one personality, Niloufar Hamedi. The one more winner is Yelehi Mohammadi, and the third winner is Narges Mohammadi. Okay, these 3 women won 2023 World Press Freedom Prize. The reason behind their selection, you can see the winners are this personality, Niloufar Hamedi. You can see Niloufar Hamedi, who broke the news that 22-year-old Masha Amini died last year September, while being held by the morality police for wearing her headscarf too loosely. Simply, police custody lo unnappude oka పర్టికులర్ ఉమెన్ చనిపోవడం జరిగింది, అండ్ ఆమె పేరే మాషా అమిని. అండ్ ఈ పర్టికులర్ ఇన్సిడెంట్ చాలా వైరల్ కూడా అయింది సోషల్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్లో. మీరు లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ న్యూస్ కన్నా ఫాలో అయ్యి ఉంటే, అండ్ ఆ న్యూస్ని ఫస్ట్ రిపోర్ట్ చేసింది ఈ జర్నలిస్టే. సో వెరీ బ్రేవరీగా తన ప్రాణాలను సైతం, లైఫ్ని సైతం రిస్క్లో పెట్టి, అండ్ షీ రిపోర్టెడ్ దిస్ న్యూస్ బికాస్ ఇరాన్ very strict regulations and rules with respect to journalism point of view. So actually she belongs to Iran, and పోలీస్ కస్టడీలో ఉన్నప్పుడే, పోలీస్ కస్టడీలో ఎందుకున్నారు తను అంటే, తను హెడ్కి వేసుకున్న స్కార్ఫ్ చాలా లూజ్గా వేసుకుందని చెప్పి తన పైన కేసు బుక్ చేశారు. అండ్ పోలీస్ కస్టడీలోనే పెట్టిన టార్చర్ వల్ల కావచ్చు, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మే బి, షీ వాజ్ పాస్డ్ అవే, అండ్ ద పర్సనాలిటీ ఈజ్ మాషా అమిని. అండ్ హియర్ సో World Press Freedom Prize, among 3, the first woman is this personality, Niloufar Hamedi. So who broke the news that 22-year-old Masha Amini died, that incident ni report చేసినటువంటి జర్నలిస్ట్ ఆమె. నెక్స్ట్ థింగ్, Elahi Mohammadi, who wrote about her funeral. ఈ మాషా అమ్మని funeral కి సంబంధించిన డీటెయిల్స్ అన్ని కూడా ఈమె రిపోర్ట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అండ్ రిగార్డింగ్ దట్ థర్డ్ విన్నర్ ఈస్ నర్జిస్ మొహమ్మది. షీ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఫ్రమ్ ఇరాన్. సో మెనీ ఇయర్స్గా జర్నలిజంకి అవుట్ స్టాండింగ్ కంట్రిబ్యూషన్ చేస్తుందని చెప్పి ఇరాన్కి సంబంధించిన 3 జర్నలిస్టులకి వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ ప్రైజ్ 2023 ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది బై యునెస్కో. దేర్ నేమ్స్. సో ఫస్ట్ పర్సనాలిటీ హియర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఐ గివెన్ నీలోఫర్ హమేది, సెకండ్ పర్సనాలిటీ ఇలాహి మొహమ్మది, అండ్ థర్డ్ పర్సనాలిటీ Narges Mohammadi. Okay, these 3 girls' names you should remember. If you want to see their images also, these are the 3 girls. These girls only won this award. And the first personality who reported the incident, Masha Amani was died, and she is the one who reported her funeral. And she is also from Iran. She is doing exceptional contribution for the journalism. So that's why these 3 women are honored this year World Press Freedom Prize. Okay, so their names once again if you want to see. Nilofer Hamedi, this girl, the first girl, this girl is Nilofer Hamedi. For a second girl, Ilahi Mohammadi. Okay, this girl only, second girl. And third woman, this personality, and her name Narges Mohammadi. Okay, so these are the 3 girls who received this year World Press Freedom Prize Award. Right, next thing. Yeah, next. Now let's go with the option B. Option A, what we get a clarity here. 2023 World Press Freedom Prize winners, all 3 from Iran. In fact, 3 kuda present jail lo unnar. Okay, Iran government rules and regulations paranga they are in a prison now, right? So option A is the correct only, but in option A you should remember the names of the journalists. Next, in option B, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO abbreviation, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, World Press Freedom Prize is named for Guillermo Cano. I already said this World Press Freedom Prize is in the honor, in the memory of this personality. Who is that guy? A Colombian journalist who was assassinated in front of the office of his newspaper in this year, 1986. And UNESCO has awarded the prize to coincide with the World Press Freedom Day on 3rd May since 1997. So every year 1997 నుండి World Press Freedom Day రోజు జర్నలిస్టులకి వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ ప్రైజ్ అవార్డు ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది ఇన్ ద మెమరీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ గా ఓన్లీ. సో ఈ అవార్డు ఎందుకు ఇస్తున్నారు అని చెప్పడానికి దిస్ ఆప్షన్ బి మీకు ప్రొవైడ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. నెక్స్ట్, ఆప్షన్ సి ఇఫ్ యూ సీ హియర్, దిస్ ఇయర్స్ స్పెషల్ 30th యానివర్సరీ సెలబ్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ డే. ఓకే, యాక్చువల్లీ అవార్డు ఇస్తుంది 1997 నుండి, బట్ ఆ అవార్డు ఇస్తుంది 1997 వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ డే రోజు. బట్ వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ డే స్టార్ట్ చేసి ఇప్పటికీ 10 years కంప్లీట్ అయింది అంటే 30th anniversary. This year is the 30th anniversary. It means ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేసినట్టు we are in 2023 and 1993. 1993లో వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ డేని May 3గా సెలబ్రేట్ చేయడం స్టార్ట్ చేసాం. ఓకే, దట్స్ అ పాయింట్ సి. నెక్స్ట్, దిస్ ఇయర్ థీమ్, దిస్ 2023 వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ డే థీమ్ యూ కెన్ సీ హియర్, షేపింగ్ అ ఫ్యూచర్ ఆఫ్ రైట్స్, ఫ్రీడమ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ as the driver for all other human rights. So this is the theme of this year World Press Freedom Prize point of view, signifying the enabling World Press Freedom Day theme. This one, this theme is not related to prize, just extra info. World Press Freedom Day theme, when we celebrate on May 3rd, this year we celebrate with what theme? Shaping a future of rights. Shaping what? Future of rights. Shaping a future of rights. Freedom of expression as a driver for all other human rights. Okay, that's the thing. And UNESCO, this World Press Freedom Prize given by UNESCO, right? And that UNESCO headquarters is at Paris, France. All are true as per this question point of view, right? So what we discussed here, 2023 World Press Freedom Prize winners and their names. You can see Nilofer Hamedi, and remaining two girls' names ends with like a Mohammadi. You can see Ilahi Mohammadi, Nargis Mohammadi, Nargis Mohammadi or Nargis. Maybe Nargis. That's a better way of rhyming her name. Nargis Mohammadi and Ilahi Mohammadi. Okay, and Nilofer Hamedi. So those three girls' names. Let me repeat one more time. Nilofer Hamedi, Ilahi Mohammadi, Nargis Mohammadi. Okay. One more time. Nilofer Hamedi, Ilahi Mohammadi, Nargis Mohammadi. These three girls won 2023 World Press Freedom Prize. And who gives that award? UNESCO. ఎప్పటి నుంచి ఇస్తున్నారు? 1997 May 3rd నుంచి. అండ్ ఇప్పటికీ వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ డే స్టార్ట్ చేసి ఎన్నియత్ యానివర్సరీ this one అంటే 30th anniversary. It means when the first time World Press Freedom Day celebrated on 1993. Okay, right. And where is the headquarters of UNESCO? Paris, France. And what's the theme? You can see the theme here. This year theme of World Press Freedom Day, shaping a future of rights. This one, shaping a future of rights. Shaping what? Future of rights. Freedom of expression as a driver for all other human rights. Freedom of what? Expression as a driver for all other human rights. Let me repeat. Shaping a future of rights. Shaping a future of rights. Freedom of expression as a driver for all other human rights. Shaping a of simply future of rights. Shaping a future of rights. Shaping a future of rights. Freedom of expression as a driver for all other human rights. Just read multiple times so that you can remember, but read with the understanding of the theme meaning. Shaping of what? Future of rights. Shaping of future of rights. Freedom of expression as a driver for all other human rights. That's all about this second question. And you can see the particular girls, women images also. This girl, Nilofer Hamedi. This girl, Nilofer Hamedi. This girl, Ilahi Mohammadi. This girl, Nargis Mohammadi. Okay, right. These three girls' names you should remember. And extra info, ఎప్పటి నుంచి వరల్డ్ ప్రెస్ ఫ్రీడమ్ డే సెలబ్రేట్ చేస్తున్నాం, అవార్డు ఎవరికి గుర్తుగా ఇస్తున్నారు, అండ్ వాట్స్ ద థీమ్, అండ్ వెర్ ఇస్ ద హెడ్క్వార్టర్ ఆఫ్ యునెస్కో? పారిస్, ఫ్రాన్స్. రైట్. To next question number fourth one here itself you can see. WTO, that is World Trade Organization, should look at the issue of farm subsidies with an open mind as it impacts the food security needs of emerging economies in the backdrop of COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war. These are the words said by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. So Nirmala Sitharaman WTO ki సజెస్ట్ చేసింది, రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసింది వరల్డ్ వైడ్ అగ్రికల్చర్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ సంబంధించి ట్రేడ్స్కి సబ్సిడీస్ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేయమని చెప్పి బెటర్గా. అండ్ నా మై క్వశ్చన్, వెర్ ఇస్ హెడ్క్వార్టర్ ఆఫ్ WTO? WTO headquarter is at Geneva, Switzerland. Option C is the correct answer for this question. WTO, World Trade Organization, headquarter is at Geneva, Switzerland. Right. Now the next question number fifth one. Right. In this fifth question, the question is all about getting down to business. Simply, this is a report published by this organization, Standard & Poor Global India Services PMI Business Activity Index. So, ఇండియాలో బిజినెస్ యాక్టివిటీ పరంగా వచ్చిన చేంజెస్, గ్రోత్ పరంగా ఈ రిపోర్ట్ చెప్తుంది. బట్ వన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ రిపోర్ట్ యూ కెన్ సీ విచ్ సెక్టర్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ listed overall output in India's private sector to the highest level since July 2010. Okay, ఏ సెక్టార్లో వచ్చిన బెటర్ అవుట్పుట్ వల్ల ఓవరాల్ ఇండియన్ ప్రైవేట్ సెక్టర్ యొక్క అవుట్పుట్ రైజ్ అయింది, అండ్ దట్ రైజ్ ఈస్ ఆఫ్టర్ 13 years ఇస్ ద హైయెస్ట్ ఎవర్ రైజ్. 2010లో వచ్చినటువంటి బిజినెస్ అవుట్పుట్ని సర్పాస్ చేస్తూ, అంటే 13 years తర్వాత హైయెస్ట్ ఎవర్ అవుట్పుట్ ఇండియన్ ప్రైవేట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ రిపోర్ట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. And now with the aggregate sales also rising at the fastest pace in almost 13 years as per the seasonally adjusted S&P Global India Services PMI Business Activity Index. Question is all about which sector performance, ఏ సెక్టార్లో వచ్చినటువంటి ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ వల్ల ఓవరాల్ ప్రైవేట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ యొక్క అవుట్పుట్ 13 years తర్వాత హైయెస్ట్ ఎవర్ అవుట్పుట్గా రికార్డ్ అయిందని చెప్పి క్వశ్చన్. అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ అట్ ద ఇమేజ్ హియర్ యూ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్. Last time in 2010, right, we said, so this is 2008, this is 2009, this is 2010, 11, 12. In 2010, if you look at here, maybe around this particular location, output of private sector in India. Now again in 2023, that particular figures were surpassed. That's what the thing which is in news. Okay, so last time 2010 law output of private sector is this much, and in 2023 the output of private sector surpassed previous highest levels in 2010. And ఏ సెక్టార్ లో వచ్చినటువంటి ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ అంటే, దట్ ఈస్ ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ అట్ ద ఆప్షన్స్ హియర్ వన్ బై వన్, agriculture sector, manufacturing, service sector, core industry, forestry. Simply you can understand the majority portion of in any nation GDP is service sector only. Yes, option C is the correct answer for this question. Simply a review. In 2010 the output of private sector in India surpassed in 2023. It's majorly because of the improvements in service sector output. Okay, option C is the correct answer for this question, right? Next thing, question number 6th one. Yeah, so what's the question number 6 here? The report called Currency and Finance 2023 report. Now we should identify the correct statements. Remember the report title, C and F 22-23, Currency and Finance report 22-23. Regarding this report, we should identify the correct points. Option A, the cumulative total expenditure for adapting to climate change in India is estimated to reach this figure, 85.6 lakh crore. The two with what prices? 11-12 prices by 2030. It means cumulative total expenditure, combined expenditure, all industries nundi total expenditure for adapting క్లైమేట్ చేంజ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. సో మారుతున్నటువంటి వాతావరణ మార్పులకు అనుగుణంగా టెక్నాలజీస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో మనం అడాప్ట్ చేసుకోవాల్సినటువంటి న్యూ టెక్నాలజీస్ కోసం 2030కి ఇండియాకి కావాల్సిన ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్స్ ఎస్టిమేటెడ్ ఎక్స్పెన్స్ 85 lakh crore. The two with what prices? 11-12 reference. If you take 11-12 reference prices with the present prices, this number definitely a little bit higher only. Next, the Reserve Bank of India's Department of Economic and Policy Research report. Actually, ఈ report ని పబ్లిష్ చేసింది ఎవరు అంటే, that is RBI. One of the department in RBI, DEPR. What is DEPR? Department of Economic and Policy Research. ఈ రీసెర్చ్ ప్రకారం క్లైమేట్ చేంజ్కి అనుగుణంగా ఇండియా అడాప్ట్ చేసుకోవడానికి 2030కి కావాల్సినటువంటి మొత్తం ఎస్టిమేటెడ్ ఎక్స్పెన్స్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ దాదాపు 85 లక్షల కోట్లు. ఓకే, 85 లక్షల కోట్లు. 1 ట్రిలియన్ అంటే 1,00,000 కోట్లు. అలాంటి 1,00,000 కోట్లు 85 ట్రిలియన్స్ కావాలి, 85 లక్షల కోట్లు కావాలి. ఓకే, రైట్, దట్ మచ్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్, హ్యూజ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ కావాలి. అది కూడా 11-12 ప్రైసెస్తో. దట్స్ ద కరెక్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఓన్లీ. నెక్స్ట్ ఆప్షన్ బి, ఇండియాస్ గ్రీన్ ఫైనాన్సింగ్. గ్రీన్ ఫైనాన్సింగ్ అంటే లైక్ అవర్ అచీవింగ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ without damaging our environment. So we are generating electricity with a coal. By burning coal, pollution will come, right? That's why all the nations now focusing alternatives like renewable energies. You can see the pic itself there, renewable energy like solar, wind, all those things. Okay, so if we are investing in solar plants and wind plants point of view, that's simply green financing, right? India's green financing requirement is estimated to be at least 2.5% of GDP annually till 2030. Every year, ఈ పాయింట్ ఆప్షన్ బి ఏంటంటే, ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ ఇండియా జీడిపిలో 2.5% ఆఫ్ జీడిపిని గ్రీన్ ఫైనాన్స్ కోసం ఖర్చు పెట్టాలని చెప్పి పెడితేనే, ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ చేస్తేనే అవర్ టార్గెట్ని, వాట్ ఈస్ అవర్ టార్గెట్? నెట్ జీరో కార్బన్ ఎమిషన్. నెట్ జీరో కార్బన్ ఎమిషన్ ఇండియా టార్గెట్ 2070. ఆ ఇయర్కి అచీవ్ చేయడానికి పాసిబిలిటీ అవుతుందని చెప్పి a report, one more important finding. That's what option C you can see. India's goal of achieving the net zero target by which year? This is an important point. So to achieve net zero target 2070, what it means net zero? Suppose let us assume 1 hour, if we switch on AC, air conditioner, let us assume 1 kg of fluorocarbons were emitted. So the carbons will be absorbed by trees, right? Plants, trees. If you plant one tree, let us assume that one tree is absorbing that 1 kg of emitted carbons. Right? Whatever the amount that we are emitting, AC on lo unchadam valla emit aina 1 hour lo emit aina carbon 1 kg, And if we plant a tree, let us assume the tree absorbs that 1 kg carbon. Then there is no new carbon, right? Simply that is net zero. Net zero means how much we are emitting, at least we have to absorb that. We cannot stop emitting because of the development, globalization. How much carbons we are emitting in one day, in 1 year? The same amount of carbon if we absorb by doing different actions like planting trees, all those things, and that is simply we can say net zero. So Indian government is saying whatever the carbons are going to emit in India, those all carbon emissions will be simply neutralized. To reach that particular situation, Indian government made a target 2070. So our 2070 ki net zero carbon emissions reach అవ్వాలి అంటే ఒకటి ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ జీడిపిలో 2.5% అమౌంట్ని ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది టిల్ 2030 వరకు. నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్ సిలో ఏం చెప్తున్నాం, యూ కెన్ సీ హియర్ వాట్ వీఆర్ డిస్కసింగ్. పాయింట్ సి, India's goal of achieving the net zero target by 2070 would require an accelerated reduction in the energy intensity. This is the point you need to understand. Energy intensity of GDP by around at least 5% annually and a significant improvement in its energy mix in favor of renewables to about 80% by 2070-71, right? So actual ga present government of India target enti ante let me talk about all three scenarios. 2023 లో ఉన్నాం, 2030 టార్గెట్ ఏంటి, 2070 ఈ పాయింట్లో ఏం చెప్తోంది. 2023లో the power production in India almost 67% is coming from coal only, and hardly a 20 to 23%. Okay, so simply it is around 30 to 33, right? It is 67. 30 to 33% is coming from renewable energies. The electricity production or else the energy production in India at present in this scenario, 67% of energy we are producing from fossil fuels. Only minor portion, that is 30% only we are producing from renewables. Now the target to reduce this fossil fuels dependency to 50% by 2030, it means half of the energy requirement in 2030 maybe government of India is in a position to generate from renewables. Now if we want to reach net zero carbon emission by 2070, at that time the contribution of renewables 80%, whereas non-renewables may be 20%. If you look at the point here, this one, renewables to about 80%, this percentage కి రీచ్ అయితేనే, అంటే మనం వాడుతున్న ఎనర్జీలో మెజారిటీ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీని రెన్యూబుల్స్ నుంచి ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తేనే ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్కి డ్యామేజ్ కలగకుండా మనం పర్ఫామ్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు అవుతాం అని చెప్పి దట్స్ అ పాయింట్. అండ్ వీ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ హియర్ ఎనర్జీ ఇంటెన్సిటీ. ఎనర్జీ ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఎంత తక్కువ ఉంటే అంత బెటర్ యాక్చువల్గా. వాట్ ఈస్ ఎనర్జీ ఇంటెన్సిటీ నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్లో అర్థమవుతుంది. బట్ సి ఆప్షన్ సి వన్ మోర్ టైమ్, ఇండియాస్ గోల్ ఆఫ్ అచీవింగ్ ది నెట్ జీరో టార్గెట్ బై 2070 వుడ్ రిక్వైర్, ఈ టార్గెట్ని అచీవ్ చేయాలంటే సో వాట్స్ ద కండిషన్ ఫర్ అస్, వుడ్ రిక్వైర్ an accelerated reduction in the energy intensity of GDP by at least 5% annually. So what is energy intensity? Let's see in next particular slide. So this point gives a clarity about what is meant by energy intensity. As a note I provided, what is the meaning of energy intensity? See, energy intensity is defined as the amount of energy used to produce a given level of output or activity. So let me explain with a better example. What is the point meaning? Energy intensity is defined the amount of energy used to produce a given level of output or activity. Let us assume in 2022 a company called, like let us assume a dairy milk producing company in 2022 produced 1 crore dairy milk chocolates with a manpower of 1 lakh. It means to produce 1 crore dairy milk chocolates, this company used 1 lakh manpower. Let us assume. Now what's the point? Energy intensity is defined as the amount of energy used to produce a given level of output. 1 lakh manpower energy use chesam to produce 1 crore chocolates. Let us assume in 2023 సేమ్ 1 crore చాక్లెట్స్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేయడానికి కంపెనీ 95,000 మ్యాన్ పవర్ మాత్రమే యూజ్ చేసింది అనుకుందాం. అంటే విత్ ఆటోమేషన్ టెక్నాలజీ, విత్ అడ్వాన్స్డ్ టెక్నాలజీస్ యూజ్ చేయడం వల్ల 5,000 మ్యాన్ పవర్ అవసరం లేకుండానే 95,000 మ్యాన్ పవర్తో సేమ్ అవుట్పుట్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసింది అనుకుందాం. దట్స్ వాట్. సేమ్ లెవెల్ ఆఫ్ అవుట్పుట్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేయడానికి ఎంత ఎనర్జీ ఖర్చు పెడుతున్నాం? లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ 1 lakh మ్యాన్ పవర్ ఖర్చు పెట్టాం. నౌ వీ రిక్వైర్ ఓన్లీ 95,000 మ్యాన్ పవర్. అంటే ఎనర్జీ ఇంటెన్సిటీ తగ్గితే సేమ్ అవుట్పుట్ రావడానికి ఎంత ఎనర్జీ ఖర్చు పెడుతున్నాం? ఎంత తక్కువ ఎనర్జీతో ఎంత బెటర్ అవుట్పుట్ తీస్తే దట్స్ వాట్ ఎనర్జీ ఇంటెన్సిటీ. ఎనర్జీ ఇంటెన్సిటీ తగ్గడం ఇఫ్ యు లుక్ అట్ ద నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్ హియర్, యూజింగ్ లెస్ energy to produce a product or provide a service results in a reduced energy intensity. See, last year 22లో 1 lakh మ్యాన్ పవర్ యూజ్ చేసాం using less energy. This year 95,000 people only to produce a product or provide a service results in a reduced energy intensity. So ఎనర్జీ ఇంటెన్సిటీని ఎంత రెడ్యూస్ చేస్తే అంత బెటర్. అంటే అదే అవుట్పుట్ తీయడానికి పెడుతున్న ఎనర్జీ ఖర్చు ఎంత ఉందో, ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ that's what this example only 1 lakh manpower required to produce 1 crore chocolates in 2022. Now if the requirement of manpower is 95,000 only to produce the same 1 crore output, then definitely there is a reduced energy intensity only. That's a good indication, right? Next, high energy intensity indicate a higher price or a cost of converting energy into GDP. Obviously if you look at the point here, 1 lakh కాకుండా let us assume in 2023లో ఇది ఒక కేస్, ఇది కేస్ 1. let us assume this is a case 1. Now in case 2, this is the reference. Let me explain one more time. 2022 to produce 1 crore chocolates, the required manpower is 1 lakh. Now in 2023, let me go with both the cases, case 1, case 2. Requirement of 95,000 manpower for the same 1 crore chocolates, requirement of 1.1 lakh manpower. Now see, if you see this point, using less energy to produce a product. Here previously used 1 lakh manpower energy. In case 1, 95,000 manpower energy. So energy intensity again. Whereas next statement, high energy intensities indicate high price. Obviously, see, to produce same 1 crore chocolates, if we use 1.1 lakh manpower, then obviously cost of company will go high. That's what the meaning of this particular points. Okay, low energy intensity indicates the lower price of cost of converting energy into GDP. Simple గా చెప్పాలంటే ప్రెసెంట్ మన జీడిపి అరౌండ్, ఇండియన్ జీడిపి అరౌండ్, ఈ మొత్తం థింగ్ని మీకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసే విధంగా మాట్లాడితే ఇండియన్ జీడిపి ప్రెసెంట్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ $3.5 trillion ఉంది. ఈ $3.5 trillion జీడిపిని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేయడానికి లెట్ us assume some 1 lakh ఎనర్జీ కన్జ్యూమ్ చేస్తున్నాం అనుకుంటే, if by reducing this required energy to 90,000 or else like a little bit of lesser figure compared to this, every year 5% కన్నా ఎనర్జీ ఇంటెన్సిటీని తగ్గించుకుంటూ వస్తే ఆటోమేటిక్గా జీడిపి గ్రోత్ పాయింట్ వచ్చి చేయడానికి పాసిబుల్ ఉంటుందని చెప్తున్నారు ఇక్కడ. ఆప్షన్ సి, ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ అట్ వన్ మోర్ టైం, India's goal of achieving the net zero target by 2070 would require achieve చేయాలంటే an accelerated reduction in the energy intensity of GDP by 5% annually. Okay, to produce the same output, the required energy every year we have to reduce by 5%. That's all this point meaning. Next option D, this report, what's the report? Currency and finance report. ఎవరు పబ్లిష్ చేశారు? ఆర్బీఐ సంబంధించినటువంటి ఒక డిపార్ట్మెంట్, దానిపైన డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఎకనామిక్స్ అండ్ పాలసీ రీసెర్చ్. ఈ రిపోర్ట్ ఏ థీమ్తో పబ్లిష్ చేశారంటే టువర్డ్స్ ఏ గ్రీనర్ క్లీనర్ ఇండియా. దిస్ అ థింగ్, టువర్డ్స్ ఏ గ్రీనర్ క్లీనర్ ఇండియా, రైట్? సో దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ రివిజన్. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్, option A is saying, so India requires nearly this much amount of value investment by 2030 for the changing climate situations if we want to adapt ourselves. Next thing, every year we have to spend 2.5% of our GDP value till 2030 for especially green financing. Next thing, our energy intensity should be reduced by 5% every year if you want to achieve the goal of net zero by 2070. And at that time, the share of renewables 80% and non-renewables as low as possible, that is around 20%. And next thing, the theme of this report, that is towards a greener, cleaner India. Towards what? Two things. Towards a greener, cleaner India. And this particular thing indicates for you what is meant by energy intensity. Next thing, and the final question of the today's discussion, that's a national park. You can see here this picture also. What's the name of national parks? Balpakram National Park, Nokrek Ridge National Park. Okay, two national parks today. Yesterday we discussed about Mizoram. Murlen is the one. Blue Mountain or Pong something name వస్తుంది. Blue Mountain National Park and Murlen National Park, Mizoram. Today Balpakram National Park, Nokrek Ridge National Park. Both are in which particular state? And before going to answer here, you can see a very happy family here, and this is the one of the river in that state, Taki River. This river is very famous. The water in this river is very crystal clear, and that's a pic taken in that river only. And that particular river and these particular two national parks are very famous for these pandas. These pandas will be called as red pandas, and so in these two national parks we can observe these kind of animal habitation also. And yes, this particular two national parks are in a state called Meghalaya. In which state? These two national parks in a state called Meghalaya. What's the national park names? Balpakram National Park, Nokrek Ridge National Park, and these are very famous for red panda. And Meghalaya is very famous. There is one river in Meghalaya. It is very crystal clear water, and that is Daki River. And in future, if you want to visit, you can visit this particular location also. That's all about today's discussion. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Right.